The quality of tomorrow is decided tonight, not by what you plan, by how you end today. Most people give no thought to this. The day simply runs until it stops, until tiredness overrides everything and sleep arrives not as something chosen, but as something you finally surrender to after exhausting every other option. And then you wonder why the morning feels heavy, why the mind arrives at the new day already burdened, why rest does not feel like rest. What you did in the last hour before sleep was not neutral. The mind does not stop processing when the eyes close. It continues. It works through whatever you gave it last. And if what you gave it last was unresolved noise, unfinished loops, unexamined tension, that is what it works through all night, not quietly. In ways that surface as fragmented sleep, heavy waking, the sense of having been somewhere difficult even if you cannot remember where. In the monastery, the evening is treated with as much intention as the morning, perhaps more, because we understood something about the mind that most people have not been told. The transition into sleep is not a switch, it is a threshold. And what you carry across that threshold determines what happens on the other side. Here is what that transition looks like in practice, and how you can apply it to your own life without any of the ceremonial trappings. The first step is closing the day, not drifting away from it, actually closing it. This sounds like a small thing. It is not. Sometime in the hour before you intend to sleep, sit quietly for a few minutes and do one deliberate thing. Review the day, not analytically, not in order to evaluate your productivity or calculate what you accomplished. Simply pass through the day honestly, the way you might slowly turn the pages of a book you have already read, noticing what is there. Where did you act with genuine presence today? Not perfectly, just genuinely. Where did you give your attention honestly, even for a moment? Acknowledge that, not with pride, with simple recognition. Something good was done today. It may have been small, it counts. Then, where did you miss the mark? Not as self-punishment, as clear seeing. Something in you knows when you acted from impatience, from avoidance, from fear, wearing the costume of something else. Look at it directly for a moment, not to dwell in it, to see it cleanly so it does not follow you into sleep as an unexamined weight. Then, and this is the part that most people skip entirely, consciously, let the day end. It is over. Whatever was unfinished remains unfinished. Whatever was imperfect remains imperfect. Tomorrow has its own time. Right now, this day is complete. Say that honestly to yourself and mean it. This act of deliberate closure is the difference between a day that follows you into the night and a day that stays behind you where it belongs. The second step is releasing the body, which by evening carries the entire accumulated tension of everything the mind has held since morning. Lie down or sit comfortably and move your attention slowly through the body from the top of the head to the feet. Not quickly, with genuine attention. Notice where the tension is living. The jaw, often clenched without awareness. The shoulders, lifted slightly higher than they need to be. The stomach, holding something it has been holding since a conversation that morning. Do not try to fix any of it. Just acknowledge it. Simply bringing your attention to a point of tension without trying to manipulate it allows the body to begin releasing what the mind would otherwise keep tightening. This is not a technique. It is the natural response of the body to being genuinely seen rather than ignored. The third step is what in the monastery is the evening sitting, a brief period of genuine stillness, not a long formal meditation. 5 minutes is sufficient. The quality matters more than the duration. Sit, close the eyes, take one full breath with complete attention. Feel the air moving in, Feel the body expand. Feel the slow release. Then simply remain, not trying to achieve stillness, just being present to what is actually here in this moment. The sounds around you, the weight of the body in the chair or on the floor, the natural rhythm of the breath without your interference. When the mind wanders, which it will, return, not with frustration, with the same quiet patience you would offer a child who keeps calling you back from something. The wandering is not failure. The returning is the practice. In this brief sitting, the mind begins to settle not because you have forced it to, but because you have finally stopped feeding it. All day you have been feeding the mind. Information, decisions, interactions, stimulation. Now, for 5 minutes, you simply stop. And in that stopping, the mind begins to find its natural resting state on its own. The fourth step is setting a single intention for tomorrow, not a list, one sentence, something that points toward how you want to be rather than what you want to accomplish. Not tomorrow I will complete these tasks. Something closer to tomorrow I will bring patience to what is difficult. Or tomorrow I will be fully present to the first thing before moving to the second. Or tomorrow I will speak less and listen more carefully. This intention is not a promise. It is an orientation, a quiet compass setting for the mind before it goes into the territory of sleep, where it will, in some way that we do not fully understand, continue organizing itself. What the mind has as its last clear signal before deep sleep is what it tends to return to first upon waking. You have probably experienced this in a small way. A problem you fell asleep thinking about sometimes has a different quality in the morning. Something has shifted, not always, but often enough to notice. Setting an intention uses that process deliberately. You are not leaving the mind to wander into whatever it finds. You are giving it something quiet and purposeful to hold while it does its overnight work. These 4 steps, closing the day, releasing the body, sitting briefly in stillness, setting a simple intention, take perhaps 20 minutes, perhaps less. They will not transform your life the first night. That is not how practice works, and I would not insult your intelligence by suggesting otherwise. But repeated over weeks, something changes in the texture of how you wake, not dramatically, cumulatively. The morning begins to feel like an arrival rather than a continuation of whatever was unresolved the night before. There is a sense, even before anything has been accomplished, that the slate is genuinely clean. That cleanness is not luck. It is what happens when you stop treating the end of the day as something that simply happens to you and start treating it as something you choose. The day has an ending. Let it end. Tomorrow has its own beginning. Let that be true.